What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today, guys, we're going to be re-rating Madden 22's quarterback overalls. I do want to say, though, keep in mind with I'm doing this isn't re-ranking the top 10. This is re-rating who is in the top 10. Like, for example, to me, Matt Ryan wouldn't be in the top 10. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be replacing him. You know, I'm just going to give him a new rating. So, nonetheless, though, let's go ahead and hop into it. I will say, if you guys want to see this for every position, let me know. You know, obviously, I still want to do that Pro Bowl thing. I just thought this would be a nice video to get out quick. It should be a fairly quick video. So, yeah. But yeah, so just let me know that. Let me know if there's any other video ideas you want to see. Let's get into it. So, Patrick Mahomes at 99 overall. That, to me, I mean, that's fair. You know, I feel like, to me, honestly, I see people saying Aaron Rodgers kind of should be the 99 overall. And, you know, I know he just won MVP, but to me, I don't really see Aaron Rodgers should be a 99. I mean, well, plus, not to mention, you don't really have two 99s. So, yeah, I mean, it would most likely just be one of them. And so since I can't have them both at 99s, it's kind of tough, but, basically, I'm going to go ahead and, keep Patrick Mahomes as a 99 overall here. I think that's a pretty good ranking here. I mean, he's obviously been consistently one of the best players in the NFL, and that's what it takes to get into the 99 overall club. So, good rating there, obviously, for Patrick Mahomes. I mean, wasn't really surprised, and, you know, they should have ranked him like that, so, you know, good they didn't mess that one up. Nonetheless, moving on to Tom Brady at 2. To me, this one's kind of stupid. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think, like, for me, I have him, honestly, as, like, my 6th ranked quarterback in the NFL. I don't think that he really, you know, I think he's crazy overrated. It's insane how many people are putting him as, like, their third-ranked quarterback or top 5 or something, just because he's getting carried by his offense. And like don't get me wrong, he's still a top 10 quarterback. I'm just saying, like, watching him last year, he missed so many, you know, open throws. You know, he threw a decent amount of picks, you know, and they didn't really have a run game, so obviously his stats are also going to be inflated by that. And like I said, you know, has an amazing offensive line, amazing receiving core, so it's tough to, you know, to me, he really should not be in people's top 5 quarterbacks. But, you know, that's to me at least. But nonetheless, I do think his overall should be higher than what, like, his ranking is, if that makes sense. What I mean by that is, like, just because for me I have him at, like, my 6th ranked quarterback doesn't mean I think he should be the 6th highest overall quarterback. No, because, I mean, he's obviously been consistently good for the last, like, 2 decades. So, you know, he definitely should be higher overall. To me, I have him as a 95 overall. You can call that a little low. I don't know. I just don't think a 97, I mean, he didn't have that good of a year last year. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say that. He had a Pro Bowl caliber year, and all. Like, he had a good year. I'm just saying it's not like, you know, he just freaking had an MVP season, you know. Obviously, his playoff run was great and all. He just won the Super Bowl, so don't get me wrong, he's still high overall, and as a 95, I just don't think that he should be a 97. I think, to me, a fair range is like that 96, 94 range. I think that's a good range to keep him in. And, yeah, so moving on to Aaron Rodgers. Like I said, I mean, as you could probably guess, I don't have him as a 99 overall. That might kind of piss Packers fans off. And don't get me wrong, so I just want to quickly say, if I'm talking fast, I apologize. I'm just trying to, like, I know my last, you know, 2 videos, I've kind of been, well, not only have I been really repetitive, which I've been editing a lot of that out, but I've just been talking really slow, so I'm just trying to speed things up a little. Let me know if I'm talking too fast, because, you know, I don't obviously want you guys to know what I'm saying, but nonetheless, though, let's get right back into it. So, Aaron Rodgers, though, to me, like I said, I don't think it should be a 99 just because, like, don't get me wrong, he just won MVP, but you really don't have 2 of the same position be a 99 overall. And with that being said, I think Patrick Mahomes deserves it more just because the last, like, 3 seasons, he's been one of the top players in the NFL, so I think he deserves that a little more. But nonetheless, I have Aaron Rodgers at 98 overall. I think, like I said, he's right up there with Patrick Mahomes, and I think if it was a fairly regular thing to have two 99 overalls at like one position, then I would have him as a 99 overall. But I don't really think that happens a whole lot, and I think a 98 is fair just because, yeah, he just won MVP, but I mean, the season before that, like he hasn't consistently, and don't get me wrong, he's a great player and all, and he's had an amazing career. It's not like, though, like Patrick Mahomes' deal where the last 3 years he's been at the top of the quarterback position. Like, no. And yeah, so I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I still think he's a stud. Still, if not the best quarterback in the NFL, the second best. And yeah, so nonetheless, I have him as a 98. Let me know if you changed that. I bet a lot of people would probably have him as a 99. But yeah, nonetheless, moving on to Russell Wilson. This is such a tough one because, once again, consistency, because last year, I mean, he probably had maybe like a top 6 quarterback type season. He had a pretty good season and all. Obviously, yeah, pretty good season, but he didn't have an amazing season, but it's tough to say because he's consistently been really good. So to me, I have him actually as a 96. This is probably a stupid rating if we're being honest. I think a 94 is honestly pretty fair. I can see him being more like that 95. I think really a fair range is 94 to 96. So overall, I think this rating is pretty good. I just do feel like, though, he still has consistently been really good. And, he's done it with a bad offensive line. And plus, his rating is going to be kind of inflated because he has good running stats. And yeah, so I have him as a 96. I think that's probably going to be pretty debatable as well. Some people might even have him lower than a 94 at like a 93 or something. But yeah, nonetheless, moving on to Lamar Jackson. This one was a really tough one. I just want to say, too, before this moves on to the next graphic, the graphic's messed up. It says 93, but it's supposed to be a 91. I think he could be up there, and it kind of depends also because, obviously he's probably going to have the best rushing stats as far as a quarterback goes, but it also kind of depends on how much that actually influences his ratings, because passing-wise, he's not that amazing, and so, his rushing stats are kind of a big key, and I don't know how much that's going to influence his rating. So overall, I feel like this is actually a pretty decent rating at 90 overall, but, I mean, he did win MVP 2 seasons ago, and last year he still had a really good season with a pretty bad receiving core. So I think overall I still think he should be a tiny bit higher at like a 91, but overall pretty good ranking there. Nonetheless, moving on to Deshaun Watson here. This one's tough. Plus, I mean, we don't even know if he's going to play this year. I mean, it doesn't really matter in Madden terms, to be honest with you, but it's a tough one for sure because last year, in no sense did he have like that, insane like touching or throwing touchdowns left and right, had an insane amount of yards. Like, no, he had a really good season, but I feel like, geez, I'm blanking right now so hard, but he didn't throw that many picks, but he threw a lot of touchdowns, and not to mention he threw a crap ton of yards because he's carrying this offense. Like, truly in skill, Deshaun Watson honestly might be the best quarterback in the NFL. And, I'm not like trying to say, in my rankings he's number 1. No, but I'm just saying, like, if we just take statistics out of the category, I mean, he has a terrible offensive line, a pretty average receiving core, and he's still putting up amazing numbers. And so, that's why I have Deshaun Watson as a 94. He could be higher, but at the same time, like I was saying, he's not statistically putting up like 50 touchdowns, 50 or 5,000 yards. So that obviously is going to hurt his rating a little bit, but at the same time, he's a heck of a player, man. And so I have him as a 94. I think that's a pretty good ranking. I honestly could see him higher than that, but yeah. Moving on to Josh Allen. This one's tough because last year, he had the second most MVP votes, and he was, for sure at least the top 3 quarterback last season, if not the second best, behind Aaron Rodgers. So he had an amazing season, but looking at the consistency, and this isn't, obviously going to put him down super low. I'm just saying the 2 seasons before that, he was honestly probably below average or average. So, he doesn't have that consistency level, which I still have him. I'm going to have him a lot higher than this, but I'm just saying, like, that obviously hurts him. He hasn't had, 3 MVP caliber seasons like Patrick Mahomes has, so, but nonetheless, for me, I have him as a 93 overall. I bet a lot of people probably have him higher because, yes, he did just have, like, a close to MVP season, but, it wasn't an insanely good season. He didn't obviously win MVP, and, he definitely has a bright future, and I can definitely see this ranking going up, or rating, sorry, I don't know why I said ranking, rating going up, drastically throughout the season, but I think for right now, I think a 93 is a fair rating. I think, to me, the fair rating range is, like, 92 through 94, but nonetheless, 88 overall is way too low, in my opinion, at least for him. And yeah, moving on to Dak Prescott. Once again, another tough one. He obviously just came out of an injury, and so that's obviously makes it tough. But nonetheless, I still think he should be higher than this overall, and so that's why I have him as a 90 overall. I think it's a pretty good rating. You don't want to put him too high because, first of all, last year, yes, he was throwing an insane amount of yards, but you also have to keep in mind his defense was terrible, so they were giving him the ball a lot. Not to mention he was throwing a fair amount of turnovers, so or throwing fumbling ball, however you want to say it. And so you don't want to put his rating too high. So I think a 90 is a fair rating. 87, realistically speaking, isn't actually that bad of a rating. I still think he's higher. Obviously, that's why I have him as a 90. But 87 is not bad. Nonetheless, moving on to my personal quarterback, I guess, for my team, because I'm a Titans fan, Ryan Tannehill. It's kind of tough not to be biased here, but I'm going to have him at an 88. I think an 87 is actually a really good rating. I think it's, 87, 88. I think that's a great range. He's a great runner, great passer. Like I said, though, I'm definitely, 87 I think is a good rating. And, he's been consistently, well, I guess I shouldn't say that. The last, 2 seasons he's been really good, So, but, obviously before that he hasn't really done a whole lot. So, it's tough, but I think an 88's fair rating there, or 87, however you want to say it. And, yeah, moving on to the final quarterback, we have Matt Ryan. This is kind of stupid. Yes, consistently, he's, I guess, been a pretty good quarterback, but he's been kind of slightly above average, honestly, the last 2-3 seasons, and so I don't know. I don't understand why he's on this list. I think you could have Matt Stafford here, you could have Kyler Murray here, you could have Derek Carr here, you could have Kirk Cousins here. I just think there's so many people that could definitely be above him. Heck, I could even see Baker Mayfield above him, to be honest. So nonetheless, though, the overall itself isn't actually that bad. I think it's more the fact that he's on this list. There should be people above him. And keep in mind, too, I will say this, there could be people tied with him at 85 overall, and they just put him on for some reason. Because, I know they did that last year, I think, where they had, the last rating was, an 86 or something, and they had another 86 or something. I don't know how they decide that, and like I said, I don't know if that's true necessarily. That just might be. But nonetheless, Matt Ryan, I have as an 84. Like I said, the rating itself isn't that bad. And I think an 84, 83, around that range is pretty good. And, yeah, let me know what you would change, guys. I know there's probably a lot you would change. And, yeah, so also let me know, like I said, if I talk too fast, because I am talking really fast. I just, I'm trying to speed these up. I have videos the last one that, should have been more 10 minutes, and they were 19 minutes. So, I'm just trying to speed up my talking, but let me know, please, if this is too fast. And, yeah, let me know which videos you guys want to see. And if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.